Good morning, students. Hope all of you are well. Welcome to the chemistry class. And today I will continue this chapter, that is air and atmosphere. Today first we will discuss the burning of elements in oxygen. Burning of elements in oxygen. First you have to know about the ignition temperature. Okay, the minimum temperature to which a substance must be heated to make it burn is called its ignition temperature. And at this ignition temperature, the elements combine chemically with oxygen to produce its respective oxides. Oxides are binary compounds formed by the chemical combination of a substance that may be metal or non-metal with oxygen. Like we can say about magnesium oxide, carbon dioxide. Magnesium oxide is called metallic oxide and carbon dioxide is non-metallic oxide. Generally, metallic oxides are basic in nature and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Now in your book a list is given. Okay, we will discuss it one by one. First we will discuss the burning of some non-metals. Burning of some non-metals. First we will discuss carbon. The non-metal is carbon. Okay. When you are taking carbon, if you are burning in presence of oxygen, when oxygen is excess amount, sufficient amount of oxygen is present, then if you apply heat, this is the delta sign, is the sign of heat. Okay, this is heat. Then there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas and huge amount of heat energy will be formed. Okay. So here again I am telling, we are burning carbon in presence of excess oxygen. Now here one important thing is their observation. In observation you have to write that carbon burned with bright sparks, okay, and form a gas carbon dioxide that turns lime water milky. Okay. But if there is insufficient amount of oxygen, then what will happen? Then this carbon will react with this oxygen, okay, forming one oxide of carbon that is called carbon monoxide, and also there will be formation of heat. And this carbon monoxide is neutral, okay, and it burns with a blue flame. But if you pass through the lime water, it will not produce, it will not turn lime water milky, okay. Next, another non-metal is there in your book, that is sulfur. Sulfur, if you burn in oxygen, okay, then you will get a oxide that is called sulfur dioxide, okay, plus also heat energy will be generated. And you know that whenever you will burn sulfur, it will burn with a bluish flame, okay, and giving a smell of burning sulfur. Okay, and how to identify this sulfur gas? In observation you will write that sulfur burns with a bright blue flame giving burning smell of sulfur, and this gas, that means sulfur dioxide gas, that turns the acidified potassium dichromate paper orange to green. Okay, so in this way you have to write the observation. Next, another non-metal is there, that is the phosphorus. So phosphorus also react with the oxygen, forming, in presence of heat, forming phosphorus pentoxide, plus also heat energy will be evolved. Okay, and here observation you will write that phosphorus burns with a flame, okay, dazzling flame, and producing dense white fumes of phosphorus pentoxide, that is P2O5. Okay. Next we will discuss that burning of hydrogen in presence of oxygen. So burning of hydrogen is also non-metal. So hydrogen and oxygen, okay, if you keep it this mixture long time, even more than 1 year in a bottle, it will not react, it will not form water. Okay, but if you give some flame or if you give some electric spark, definitely it will react, okay, with a fraction of second, and it will produce water. Okay, and you know that hydrogen burns with a pop sound in presence of oxygen. Okay, so here what will be the reaction? That twice H2 is reacting with oxygen in presence of electric spark. Producing water. Okay, so this is the reaction, and definitely there will be production of heat. All are exothermic reactions. Okay. Next we will discuss the reaction of oxygen with some metals. This is another burning process with metals. Okay. Suppose if you burn magnesium, it will produce magnesium oxide. So reaction of oxygen with metals. Okay. So first in your book it is given sodium. So sodium is highly reactive, okay, and it will react with the oxygen forming sodium oxide. Sodium oxide formula you know, Na2. So what will be the reaction? That sodium will react with oxygen forming Na2O. So here you have to put 2 4N. Plus there will be formation of heat energy. And here what we will write in observation? In observation it will have to write that it burns with a brilliant golden yellow flame. Okay, that you have to write. Next, if we take calcium, calcium will react with oxygen. Here you have to give heat, okay, and normal temperature it will also react, okay, but if you give heat, that you can give, okay. In case of calcium, here not required, okay. Here calcium if you burn, okay, definitely it will produce calcium oxide, plus huge amount of heat will be formed, and here you have to balance the equation, and whenever you are writing equation, you have to balance it, otherwise it will violate the law of conservation of mass, okay. So calcium, when you will burn in presence of oxygen, will produce calcium oxide, and definitely a brick red flame will be produced, okay. So here you have to write that calcium will burn, okay, with a brick red flame, okay, forming a white solid, that will be the quicklime. CO is called quicklime or calcium oxide, okay. Then magnesium, so I have shown in activities, okay. Magnesium also react, you have to apply heat to form magnesium oxide, plus huge amount of heat plus light will be formed. Light energy also form, okay. So in this case you have to write in observation that the magnesium burns with a bright dazzling light, forming a white ash or white powder, that is magnesium oxide. Okay, next we will discuss that reaction of iron and oxygen. Okay, if you take iron, it will react with oxygen, and if you also here you can give heat, okay, that will produce Fe3O4, plus there will be formation of heat. This is ferrosulfuric oxide, Fe3O4. Now you have to balance it. Here you have to put 3 and here you have to put 2. Okay. Now what will be what you will write here in the observation? Observation you have to write that hot iron burns with a bright light or bright spark and forming an oxide of iron. Whatever we are writing, this is Fe3O4. Here iron 2 valence is present. Actually it is a mixture of FeO plus Fe2O3. If you add it, you will get Fe3O4. Hope you can understand. So in this way you have to practice the equations. All equations are very much important, okay, for your examples. Next I will discuss some examples. In practical life we will see this type of burning examples, and we are using this thing because it is producing huge amount of heat and light. Suppose in the load shedding time we are using candle. So candle burning is an example of reaction of non-metal and oxygen, or burning of non-metal in presence of oxygen. Okay. Actually, burning process oxygen is required. Okay. So what is candle, that you have to understand. Candle is made of wax. Wax is one kind of hydrocarbon. Now what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is a compound containing hydrogen and carbon. So if wax is hydrocarbon, definitely hydrogen is present and as well as carbon is present. So hydrogen will react with oxygen forming water vapor, and carbon will react with oxygen forming carbon dioxide gas. Okay. And here you will get heat, and because of heat that wax will melt. Okay. And there will be formation of light. Okay. And that light we are using for different purposes. Okay. So what is the reaction here? So when you are burning candle, okay, here we are thinking that sufficient amount of oxygen is present. So there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas and heat energy as light energy. Okay, and hydrogen also react with oxygen and forming H2, water vapor. Okay, last heat will be formed. Next we will discuss rusting. Rusting is another example of metal and oxygen reaction. Rusting is a process where oxides of iron is formed. Here also metal reacts with oxygen. Rusting is a very slow process. The necessary and sufficient condition for rusting, you know, that presence of moisture and oxygen near the iron metal surfaces. And during rusting, oxygen and moisture from air reacts with iron and produces a brownish red coating over the metal, and it easily crumbles off from the surface of iron, thus exposing the free surface again for further rusting. Okay, again for further rusting. Next we will discuss the formula of rust. Okay, all of you know that formula of rust is Fe2O3.X and X is variable. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4, any number. Okay, so this is called hydrate ferric oxides. Okay, so sometimes if there is presence of some acidic gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, they will act as catalyst. They will increase the rate of rusting of iron. You know that rusting is a very slow process. So iron is a very useful metal in our day-to-day life. Okay, like in bridges, in building frameworks, okay, in vehicles, in different machines are made of iron. Okay, so it is very important for us. Okay. That how to prevent rusting of iron. So if we protect the surface of iron by use painting and metallic coating, we can give that different types of grease is there, that also we can give, and metallic coating means galvanization. Okay, then there will be no formation of rust. Okay, and rusting will not occur. In this way we can prevent rusting. Next we will discuss the comparison between rusting and burning. First we have to discuss the similarities. What is the similarity? So rusting needs oxygen, but burning also needs oxygen. This is the similarity. And rusting process product is oxide, and also burning process the product will be the oxide. Now we will discuss the difference. Okay, suppose we can tell that rusting is a very slow process, but burning is a very fast process. In rusting, okay, very small amount of energy will be released. But if you think about the burning process, in burning process huge amount of heat will be released. Okay, suppose you are burning fuel, okay, huge amount of heat will be released. In rusting, very low amount of energy. In rusting, there will be formation of no light energy. But when you are burning, definitely light will produce. Okay. And in rusting moisture is required. Okay, without moisture there will be no rusting. If there is only oxygen, there will be no rusting. But in burning process, okay, moisture is not required. In rusting, the ignition is not required, but for burning, ignition is required. Okay, so in this way you have to understand the difference and similarities of rusting and burning processes. Next we will discuss the chemical identification test of oxygen. Okay, this is very important for exam purpose. Identification of oxygen by chemical test. First, you can already I have shown in activity class in previous days activity classes that if you take some glowing splinter or burning splinter and if you enter into the oxygen splinter, it will deconduct. Oxygen gas reacts with also colorless nitric oxide and forming a reddish brown gas, that is nitrogen dioxide. So nitric oxide is reacting with oxygen forming a reddish brown gas. It is colorless. Okay. This is a colorless gas, and when it is reacting with oxygen producing NO2 gas, this is a reddish brown gas. So from here also you can tell there is presence of oxygen, okay. And another is there alkaline pyrogal solution. Okay, you cannot understand what is pyrogal. Pyrogal is an organic compound, okay, having one benzene ring and 3 OH functional group, okay. And if you take this alkaline solution, okay, like potassium pyrogalate or sodium pyrogalate, then if you pass the oxygen gas through the solution, then what will happen? Then there will be a color, dark brown color will be formed, okay. So alkaline pyrogalate solution turns turns the oxygen gas, okay. Now if you pass oxygen gas to alkaline pyrogalate solution, it will turn deep brown color, okay. So in this way we have completed the identification, and very little bit of part is left, and next day we shall discuss the use of oxygen and how oxygen is maintained in the air, okay, because every animals living species are taking oxygen from the air, then how the oxygen is balanced or oxygen percentage is maintained, okay. And in this way we will complete the chapter, that is air and atmosphere, okay, and also the syllabus. Then after this we will discuss different types of questions what may come in the exam, okay. So till if you have any confusion, you can ask in your live class and we will clear your doubt. So today up to this, thank you.